Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. Sorry I'm a bit late today, but I've just come back from visiting Mum and Dad's grave, so I'll have to make this a quick one. For a start, that's the Ferrari 12-cylindry, the latest and greatest Grand Tourer, and that's the Top Gear test on it. It's a really good car if you got that kind of money, knocking on the door of £400,000, and you want to travel long distances, i.e. Grand Touring. But anyway, I don't have that kind of money, so I can only look at pictures of it and watch videos of the road test. Enough about that. Anyway, as you know, the paternity fraud is becoming major headlines across the Western world, and especially in Canada and America. So I've been having a look around to see what I can find on that, because as you know, the feminists and women in general don't like the idea of being forced to undergo a paternity test to determine who is the biological father of the child that they're carrying. And it also protects men as to whether they're on the hook for child support and child allowance and all the rest of it. So looking around, I found this. This is Moen, Sheehan and Mayer. This is a legal company in America. And as you can see, it says, can a mother say no to a paternity test? It says, can a mother decline a paternity test? Whether a mother can refuse to allow her child to take a DNA test depends on the type of request that was made. A potential father may ask the mother for a DNA test to prove or disprove paternity. In this situation, the mother can refuse the test. If the mother requests a paternity test, she can subsequently change her mind and can refuse the test. But when the court orders a paternity test, the mother cannot refuse. If the mother refuses a court-ordered paternity test, she will be in contempt of court and could face legal consequences for her actions. And if you drop down, it says, what happens when a mother refuses a paternity test? When the court orders a paternity test, the parties are all required to comply. In other words, they have to do it. If the mother refuses and says no to the court to allow a paternity test that the court orders, she's facing contempt. Contempt of court means, contempt of court means that a person has disobeyed a court order. Sanctions of the contempt of court include fines and or imprisonment for up to 10 days. And it says, the possible child of a father has the right to seek a DNA test. This can be done through the court system. If the man is a potential father, the court will order the DNA test, which requires compliance from all parties. So she can't say no. This was done on August 12th, 2024. And this company is in WI, which I think is the American state of Wisconsin. So as you can see, this paternity fraud situation and the legal ramifications is starting to affect legal state legislation, and they're starting to crack down and work out a framework as to whether they can prove it or not. Now that's Wisconsin. Also in Texas is more or less the same thing. This is the Attorney General of Texas. It's only a small article, but this is the interesting bit, which has been coloured when I clicked on the link. When the mother and father disagree about paternity and just want to make sure of the biological father, the Office of the Attorney General in Texas may file a petition asking that a Texas court establish an alleged father as the biological father. In this case, the court will often order the alleged father to take a paternity test. Well, I would imagine that the American court in Texas can also do the same for the mother. If the guy is not sure whether he is the biological father of a child that she's either given birth to or that she is carrying. And then it just goes about how long before the results come. It's 46 weeks after the swab. What happens when the results are back? After the paternity test results are returned from the lab, the attorney OAG will be able to finalize their paternity order. So the Texas courts will be able to say whether the guy is the father of the child or not. Moving on, I found this, another legal office, Kenneth R. Clean. Now this is in the American state of Ohio. As you can see, paternity fraud, legal ramifications and how to address it. Due to the delicate nature of paternity fraud, it's important that you fully understand the legal ramifications of this action in Ohio and learn how you can address it in a way that safeguards your rights. Now it says, some of the common paternity fraud cases in Ohio center around misleading a man into believing he is the father of the child and signing an acknowledgement of paternity form. In other words, paternity form in Ohio. Falsely identifying paternity on the child's birth certificate. If the guy is not the father and it's signed as he is, then he's screwed. Intentionally hiding or lying about the identity of the biological father, i.e. she's been playing around. She got knocked up by Chad. And then tampering with paternity test results, undergoing artificial insemination without informing the potential father, i.e. the sperm donor. Well, over here in Britain, the sperm donors are legally protected and they have no comeback whatsoever about any child that they fathered by being a sperm donor. So obviously it's different over in the United States. And then legal ramifications of paternity fraud. While a woman may think she has the child's best interest at heart by hiding paternity, there are some serious legal ramifications for all parties. As for the biological father, may be denied the opportunity to create a relationship, may face legal hurdles. Now, for the guy that's not the biological father, they may be wrongly held financially responsible for a child they did not have and may not be able to afford to support. In other words, he could be up for child support for a child that's not even his. They may be denied the opportunity to assert their own paternal rights. So, if he's not the father, then he's got no rights and he can go his own way, and she's left holding the baby, and she has to get back with the real biological father of the child. And then naturally for the child, trauma and confusion regarding their identity and their relationship with both their parents. And then it goes about the legal company. It's also happening in the state of Florida. This is another legal Cynthia Hernandez, must be Hispanic, lawyers, law, understand when it comes to paternity tests in Florida. The married at birth, the husband is presumed to be the father unless she's got knocked up by somebody even though she is married. That has been cases on the YouTube videos about guys finding out they're married but they're not the father of the child when it comes to a case of they gotta have a liver transplant or a kidney transplant, and they've been DNA testing and he's found that he's not the child's biological father. Unmarried parents, paternity must be established, often through a DNA test, but then you drop back to this. If she knows she's been playing around, she can say no, but if the court says you got to do it, then she has to do it. Paternity action, both parents can request a paternity test through the court, but that more or less would be the guy. Legal rights establishing paternity grants fathers rights and responsibilities. and then lots of yada yada about the legal stuff in Florida. As you can see, there's a lot of it to go through. But that's another company. There's also, I've found, petitions for paternity fraud. I found this. Implementing mandatory DNA testing before in the state of Florida. They want to make it Floridian law. And another one. This is a guy from a place in Cypress, Texas. He wants to make the paternity fraud a Texas law. This is red because I had a look at it before, and House Bill 2698 is the one that was put in the American state of Tennessee that got timed out, and it didn't become state law in Tennessee. But also even in the state of Colorado, it's becoming a legal and political issue. And then there's also a petition to make paternity testing at birth a federal law, so it covers all 52 states. And if you drop down, no U.S. state has a law requiring fathers to establish paternity through DNA testing at the time of birth. Too many American women commit paternity fraud, causing emotional and financial distress for countless men and children. Establishing mandatory paternity tests at birth can prevent these injustices, ensuring that every child knows who their true biological father is from the start. And if you drop down, 3% of all births in America, or 10.2 million babies, are born, but the guy thinks that he's the father, and he's not the father, so 10.2 million women have been playing around. Now, we got the election year this year, so that's at least 10.2 million the registered voters that could swing the states in one part of America or not. There's 161 million registered voters in America. 10.2 might not be much, but it could swing the balance in some swing states, and you either get Trump as your president or Kamala as your president. But it says paternity fraud must be criminalized. I don't know if it's an election issue, but obviously by these articles and these legal sites, it's becoming a legal issue across increasing numbers of states. It all boils down, could a woman say no to a paternity test? She could, but if the court orders it, then she can't do anything, and she has to answer for what she did. And as you know, actions have consequences, and the women have to take the responsibility for her actions, and we know how much women and feminists don't like doing that. I think I'm on the 15 minutes mark now, so I'll leave it at that. I'll naturally put all these links below, so I'll try and find some more on this case and paternity fraud, but for now, that's it for this one. Bye-bye.